How are we doing today, guys? Well, that's not how we're going to start this. So, I don't have keys to this truck, apparently. There it is. What's up, guys? Hi. Well, Erica, Harper, and I, we're on our way to... Oops. We're on our way over to the Carl residence. We're going to go have supper with Mr. and Mrs. Carl. But the other day here, he made mention about his new pup he's got. His black lab. Actually came out of the black lab that we inherited through Erica. But his name's Gus. He's got to be just about a year, if not a little bit older. He's like right at a year old, actually. It was right in the spring last year. Anyways, he is going to start training this dog. Well, we got talking here on the phone the other day, and Ryan said something about, God, that'd make a cool video, and then we both got to kind of thinking, and yeah, that'd be kind of a cool progressive series, actually, going into, we'll start out with him, and then kind of bring it into goose season, you know, and do some cool B-roll if we can, and maybe some tips and tricks along the way. I'm not sure. We're just gonna we're gonna explain some of the stuff he's gonna be doing with the dog, and then kind of go through and record a lot of his technique and how to get what how to understand a dog. That's kind of what we're going for. But see, Erica's just starting to pull out now, so I'm gonna get on the road here. We'll have, I think mostly Ryan's gonna be doing the talking. I'm gonna let him do most of this, and then being that it is his dog, you know. But we're gonna get over to his place, have some supper, visit with Mrs. Carl for a little bit, and then we'll take off and start this video. So we'll catch you after supper here. So this whole quarantine thing's got me all messed up. So the last time I was driving this road exactly, which wasn't that long ago, maybe, I don't know, 5 days ago, 3 days ago, these fields were all white. Everything was snow. 3 days in the house. Actually, it's probably been longer than that, because we went out to Juneberry and cabbed for a couple days, but so let's say 5 days tops. It was 2 feet, a foot of snow anyways. Let's go with a foot of snow out in these fields, and now it's just gone. This whole quarantine thing, it's overrated. I can't do this sitting in the house crap. But at least we're closer to spring, I guess. I don't know, I just had to come on and vent again. It's just crazy how quick it changes, and now it's just water. Water everywhere. But we're about halfway there. We'll, no, you don't see me when I go that way, do you? But we're about halfway there, so we're gonna have some supper, like I said, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, well, we just got done with our amazing dinner. Brought some burgers if anybody's curious. But the girls are inside. We're gonna get going on this little series here that I told you Ryan had called me about. I'm basically gonna let him do a lot of the talking, being it's his dog, and just kind of, I don't know a ton about training a dog, but I know enough to get me in trouble. So if I see something that needs to be addressed, I'll jump in. But for the most part, I'm gonna leave you to this guy. He's standing next to his pup there. That's Gus.
Here, Gus.
And what'd you say? Last year you got...
Well, so he's 10 months, literally just a few days ago. So last year we got him out exposed to field hunting geese. He was very young at that point. That was in like September, so what does that make him, about 5 months?
Mm-hmm.
Not even, probably.
Well, yeah, like I was saying earlier, he's barely a year old now, isn't he?
Yeah, he just turned 10 months on the 25th.
Oh yeah.
So that was 6 days ago. And he's a big puppy. But Hope's is a goose machine.
Yeah, that's our big goal, is to have a goose dog.
That's the hope. So got him exposed to some field hunting. He pretty much just ran around, watched mom, got a lot of good exposure to a bunch of guns going off at one time, which is good. And obviously he even got excited about some geese. He ran up to a few, but obviously it was way too small to do anything with them at that point. We got him out on the duck boat. It was late October, water was cold. He definitely still had a puppy coat at that time, so he wasn't a big fan of the swimming. But we had done some water retrieves earlier, so we did have him get a few kind of short just in the boat with a dead duck. We got him coaxed into doing a few of those retrieves. But then pheasant hunting, then again in November, December, he really got some good retrieving in. He really picked up on pheasant hunting quickly. He got to work his nose, he got to run, which he loves doing, and he retrieved some birds and had a really good time hunting some pheasants. Since then, we haven't done a whole lot of retrieving because obviously December, northern Minnesota, it got cold. It's miserable to be outside. So really what we worked on was your standard just obedience training basics. Your sit, stay, heel, some lay down and that's for more so in the house, but also can be useful in the blind. And just things like that, and just really did a lot of reps of that, but not really a ton of retrieving. So it is now, March 31st, and it's finally nice out. The snow's kind of disappearing, as you can see behind me, and it's time to really hit it hard with first the basics of retrieving and just the steps, bring in that obedience training that we did all winter long and bring that into the retrieving process, and then kind of start from there and build up to where we want to be this fall, to the point of sitting in the blind until the birds are down, the shooting's done, and then going and retrieving those birds, because that's really the goal.
Right, and like you said, you can tell by just looking at him sitting there that dog has had enough obedience training in the winter here. So he's just gonna get all that stuff compiled together, and we're gonna kind of do a cool little series on this whole deal, from basically scratch pup, to hopefully in the field running geese back. Yeah, there's geese squawking in the background. I saw.
You know it's spring in northern Minnesota. The geese are back.
Right?
They're back. Except we can't shoot them until.
Yeah, all it does is get us really antsy, is all this does. So we're gonna, I don't know what our first progression here is gonna be, but we'll kind of step back and figure that out, and we'll touch base with you here in a second.
So basically what we're going to start with is, again, that obedience training. We've done the sits, the stays, the heels, but now it's about translating it into actually what you want him to do and why, as opposed to just getting a treat or anything like that. It's about the work he's supposed to do as a dog, right? So first thing, heel. Gus, heel. You want him squared up. Stay. 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 Fetch it up. Good boy, Gus. Come. Good boy. Come. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. No, fetch it up. Fetch it up, Gus. Fetch it up. Good boy. Good boy. So, what we want him to do is all of those things without. We want him to do them repetitively, night after night, again and again, without him breaking. Or, are you still recording?
Go ahead, you're fine.
So without him breaking, without him, lunging, things like that. Obviously, he's a high energy pup. First time, first retrieve of the day, he might jump a little bit once we really get this down, but we'll probably let that one slide. If he does it the rest of them, he's doing pretty well. So, again, heel, Gus.
And like I keep telling Ryan, you got to start from, you have a start spot. You can't expect perfection right away. You could do as much obedience training as you want in the winter. But to translate this, he's excited about that toy, so him throwing it is naturally going to make him forget some stuff. So.
Yep, absolutely. And so it's just about getting enough reps at it. You know, even here he wants to break from heel. And just getting enough reps at it until he's really not making mistakes again and again and again. So we're not going to move on until he's really got that wrapped up. He's got a good feel for it. He knows that, hey, I'm supposed to heel, I'm supposed to stay. I don't go until I'm told to.
And like Ryan's saying, every time he taps that hip and says heel, Gus is attentive. He's got enough of it.
He knows what's going on. He knows. And then a lot of times, especially early on with the stay, I really like to just pat the head and kind of push back a little bit and cover the eyes and just kind of stay. And then even early on here, I'm going to leave my hand here just so that he's not fully going out after that bird. He's excited even without throwing it. Come on, guys, heel. Stay. Gus, come. No. And early on, you're going to have to just let some of these go because he's still a pup. Fetch it up. Heel. He's still a pup. You don't want to totally get him broken from being excited about retrieving. You want him to be excited to be, about retrieving, and he wants to, you want him to love what he's doing. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you.
Eventually, it's going to turn into one of those things where instead of being excited for the retrieve, it's going to be excited for the reward. So that's all Ryan's doing right now, is getting him excited. He's making sure he's excited about the retrieve, and that's his job, but the reward is going to be the next step.
Yep. And so the tricky part is working in how you want him to go about it. How you want him to behave in the field, behave around your kids, behave around other people. And that all kind of stems from the obedience training, but also for the hunting part of it, getting it into your retrieving, both here on land and out in the boat, in a field, whatever it may be, on live birds. So he's already this time. He knows what's going on. He wants to heel. I haven't even said it yet. Heel. Stay. Gus. Stay. Fetch it up. Good boy. Good fetch. Come. Good fetch. No, fetch it up. Drop. Good. Good boy. Heel. Gus, heel.
And overpraising in this instance, in the early stages here.
Good boy. Stay. Gus, heel. Now he's used to me, when we're going through our obedience training, he's used to me using other words, similar words. Like instead of get your food, I'm saying good job. I'm using the same kind of syllables, but it's really about kind of mixing and matching that so they're not used to always just on the first sound of your voice going to get what they're supposed to get. So, here again he stayed. Go fetch it up. Good boy.
That's an awesome instance to where if you had a buddy, just have him come out and talk to you while you're training your dog. And everything that's going on around him, as long as he keeps his attention on his job, that's awesome. I mean, you don't see many 10-month-old pups that'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. Heel. Stay. The other thing I was going to mention there is that even though I was kind of holding my hand here, he was looking around my hand to see where this landed, which is really cool. And so you don't want to get overbearing with this, but you also want him to stay. And again, that'll come with time. This is literally the first true reps of the spring with him. So it shouldn't take much, I don't think, based on what I'm seeing right now, to be able to pull that hand away completely, and he's going to go and do and listen to me and do what he needs to do.
And he's just using that hand as a buffer right now. It's just a tool. It will be taken away later.
Yeah. Good boy. Heel. I never said it, did I? I didn't tell you to stay. Yeah, heel. Stay. Fetch it up. Good boy, Gus. Good boy. Come.
So I think so we don't end up talking this to death, I'm going to put the camera out behind these guys, let them do a bunch of reps, and then we'll come back here in a little bit and just kind of talk over what's going on.
Doing like super.
Right.
Heel, Gus.
And most of this is just going to be B-roll background music stuff right now.
Stay. Good boy. Good boy, Gus. Fetch it up. Good boy. Good boy. Drop. Heel. Come on. Get your butt straight. Stay. Stay, Gus. Stay, Gus. Heel. Gus, heel. Don't be afraid to bring him back when they stop like that. Start it all over. He can heel. Lyle's just going to throw in some additional distractions there. Good boy, Gus. Good boy. Hey, fetch it up.
I'm not going to lie, I'm trying to call this goose around.
Drop. Good boy, there's two of them. Just over the top of the Quonset. Oh, there's two more. Yes. Yes. Gus is already excited about geese. You know he's going to have to really retrieve those. We haven't shot them yet, bud. Stay. Stay. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Good boy. Stay. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Fetch it up, Gus. Come. Good boy, come. Good boy. Heel. Gus, heel. Heel. Stay. 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 There you go. Fetch it up, Gus. Fetch it up. Good boy. Yeah, first day. Good boy, Gus.
That was worth a shot.
Good boy. Come. No, fetch it up. Fetch it up. Good boy. Good boy. Heel. Heel. So that's one of the things, you know, once we get through this, I'm not going to have to touch him anymore to know that this is heel. He knows it already, but it's just about translating it. So when I say we're not going to move on until we get through this progression, those are some of the things that you're not going to want to have happen anymore, right? He's going to know heel just like that, but every single time. He's not going to lunge when you throw it every single time. He's going to sit at heel. He's going to stay without me patting his head or holding him or anything like that. And then he's going to, when I release him, he's going to go. Stay. No, Gus, heel. Stay. Stay. Fetch it up. Good boy, come. Come on, Gus. Good boy, come. Good boy, come. Yeah, fetch it up. 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 Good boy. Gus, come. You really got him anxious about those birds out there.
Sorry.
He's convinced.
As you can tell already, it's already starting to click for him what Dad wants him to do, you know. This is one of the biggest things, is just getting the understanding with him. I mean, he's gonna think his own way and do his own thing. Animals are, well, they've got their own brains, you know. So, like Ryan's doing here, he's just implementing the things he wants him to do in a way that he's seen the dog knows how.
Gus, come. Gus, come.
Yeah, I got him real agitated about those geese. Sorry.
Come. Heel, Gus. Heel. Stay. Stay. Gus, stay. Heel. Good heel. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Good boy, come. Gus, come. Come. Fetch it up. Come. Right. Good boy. Good fetch. And there again, right, he broke a little bit. Don't be afraid to bring him back. Bring him back into heel, do a reset. There's nothing wrong with that. He didn't do wrong. He just doesn't know yet. He doesn't know he can't do that yet, right? And it's no reason to, you know, get after him about it. Just reset, have him heel again, and have a good retrieve. And so especially early on here, you know, there's really no reason to get after him much. They're still figuring it out too. So It's just all about repetition and doing the same things over and over again. And there again, you don't want it to go the other way and let him go, right? If he stops like that, bring him back, reset him. Because otherwise, if you let that happen too often, every time you throw, he's going to do that. Well, that's not what you want. You want him right here by your side, at heel. Gus, heel. Stay. Stay. Good, stay. Good boy. Fetch him. Fetch it up.
And I guess to expand on that a little bit is...
Fetch it up. Good
so
boy.
every trainer is different. Every person has a different way they want their dog to act. So like Ryan, he wants him at heel every time. That way he feels he has the control he needs over his dog. And that dog knows that he needs to be looking for him for guidance, you know?
Yep. Well, and that just kind of leads into where this is going to end up. That you want him to really, at the end of the day, to just pay attention to you, right? Mm-hmm. So even when there's 4 or 5, 10 geese that fell in a volley, or ducks, or 4 pheasants, whatever it may be, even though all that chaos is going on, you want that dog to be listening for you and looking for your direction. Because when there's dead birds over here and a live runner over here, you want that dog to look at you for direction, right? Because you want this dog to go and get the live one so we don't have to run after it. That's kind of the whole point.
As you can tell, we aren't runners.
Certainly not sprinters.
No,
I'll tell you that much.
We've hunted a lot of geese together, and in the last few years, we've thanked that Brandy could at least knock them down for us, so we didn't have to run.
You know, and so that's part of it. So that's where it starts. In the basics of that, doing what you say every time is really where that base gets laid. Mm-hmm. And no different than building a house, foundation has to be strong. So that's why we're going to stick on this for a while and make sure that he gets good and listens to me, and even for Lyle for that matter, because we hunt a lot together. I want him to be able to listen to Lyle too and other people, but the fundamentals remain the same. So, Neil.
If you're wondering, I'm Lyle.
Or Norm, sorry.
I don't know how many people have actually called me Lyle while I've been recording.
Gus. Heel. Heel. Fetch it up. Fetch it up.
You don't, Gus.
Heel. Heel.
Hey, Sammy.
Fetch it up, Gus. Fetch it up. Fetch it up, Gus. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Good boy. Come. Good boy.
So all I was doing there is I had him hold him, and I wanted to walk across the sight line just to show they're so impressionable. They pick up on these little things, and it takes their mind off their job. So maybe in a few weeks we'll do that same thing. Just as a comparison, I'll go out there, do the same kind of walk pattern, and see if he focuses on me, because he saw he kind of started off to the side and got lost on that bird a little bit, or that dummy I should say. We'll see what he does in the next couple weeks, you know. We'll just use that as kind of the comparison and a gauge for how well this is going for him.
Mm-hmm. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Gus, no. Gus! And then that's when we're talking too much and not just retrieving. Fetch it up, come.
But even then, it'll be a nice gauge for later on in this series to see what he does.
And again, that happens, and don't get mad, don't flip out. Finish the retrieve, finish it the right way, stay down, and then go in and do another one, because that's a terrible one to end on. Heel. Fetch it up. Fetch it up. Fetch it up, Gus. Good boy, come. Gus, come. Good boy, come. Good boy, come. Good fetch. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good fetch. Good fetch. Yeah. Yeah, that dummy's over there. Yeah, good boy. Good boy.
This is a good show of just what good praise does to a dog. I mean, he's excited about that dummy still. You can see he's losing it a little bit, and
fetch it up.
The puppy's coming out in him, but Overpraised. It just gets him fired up.
Good boy. And you know, and especially on a day you've struggled, right? On a day you've struggled, it doesn't hurt to just bring back just let them go get it, bring it back. Because especially on those tough days, it keeps them excited about it. Good boy. And today was a lot thrown at him. Overall, really, really good. But even then, it doesn't hurt to just toss it, don't say anything. Especially if he's gonna go out there, bring it right back. That's awesome, right? And it takes a lot of reps to get to the point where, you know, you don't have as many bad days. There's those geese again. I'm gonna cross over right over
duck
here.
flying over.
Wow.
It's spring up here. All it is tantalizing.
Yeah. Wow, some more
guys
ducks
back.
right up there. Oh, it's not as dark out as I thought it was. Just heel. Heel. Stay. Fetch it up, Gus. Good boy.
Just having a guy around too. I mean, the earlier you can expose them to distractions, I do believe it helps. But if you're at that point where your dog's not, at least to the obedience of heeling and listening to you, maybe shy away from that for a few sessions. But this is all good for a learning dog. Is just get some distraction involved. I mean, granted, just blowing on a goose call isn't much of a distraction, but it's something new. It's something different that he hasn't had before, and it doesn't seem to be affecting him.
Good boy. Heel.
Good boy. Fetch up. Fetch up. Not bad for a first day, huh? Not bad. Quit trying to confuse you. I know I'm not dad.
Especially the whole throwing with the right hand instead of the left hand.
Well, right, I can't get any distance with my left hand.
You know, so if Lyle puts that in there when he was trying to throw, right, so he's got the dog on this side, heel, and he's trying to throw between him and the dog.
And it's just awkward, and
it's awkward. You're going to probably clip the dog or your thigh or the back of your knee.
And then like Ryan was doing earlier, you're not able to use that buffer hand.
Right, you can't use the other hand, so, you know, for me being left-handed, right-hand side just makes sense for me. You being right-handed, left-hand side makes sense for you.
And I know there's some critics out there that say your dog's always got a heel on your left side or a heel on your right side. I don't know, but I've always done it for ease. It's not about perfection. It's about how you make it work, how you make it easy for them to learn.
Yeah. And again, the guys that are going to argue, they do it for a living.
Right.
You know, as you can tell from what we've done so far, we're the weekend warriors. We're the out here trying to make good dogs, trying to make good hunts. You know, we don't get paid for this full time yet.
Yeah. Yet.
And or win the lottery, one of the two.
We're waiting. That or that rich uncle that likes me, I still haven't found him.
Long lost. Long lost. But anyways, I think that's about it for episode 1 of the training of Gus. We don't really know what we're going to call this yet.
Well, it's your dog. You come up with the name.
The training of the Gustav, the Gus Gus. So I don't know how many of you ever watched. What's that movie that?
Benchwarmers. Gus Bus.
No.
Oh, sorry.
The Gus Gus. What's that from again? Lady and the Tramp. It's like it's a chubby little mouse, I think.
If you're going that far back, that's yeah.
I think that's what it's from. We'll edit this out if it's not. But the whole reason for his name, as a pup, he was a chunky little monkey. He was about one of the biggest in the litter. And so the wife named him Gus Gus from the start, and so that kind of just hung on. Now he's just Gus or Gus Gus or you know, dumb blockhead. Hey, listen,
hey, you. Whatever works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll cut her off there, and like you said, if you want to keep track on Gus and see how he's doing, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a little bell right next to it. Hit that, you'll get notifications on whenever we upload a video, stuff like that. But
startled me. But we're gonna, I think the next video I'll probably do later this week is probably gonna be on that new goose call. I put a post on Facebook you guys might have seen. And you kind of heard some of it tonight. I was trying to keep it out of the video as much as possible just for content's sake. But yeah, I guess we'll catch you guys later, and thanks for watching.